doubt. I was checking out the bio. Now
Mhm.
it had listed something about the main source breaking atoms. You was
Yeah.
involved in that.
Well, actually, early in my career, Large Professor of Main Source was one of my peers, and I watched him work on music for people like Eric B. and Rakim, Cool G Rap, and I was interning at a recording studio in Long Island City, and I was just soaking all that in, and I watched him, do what he was doing with those artists up until when he did the first Main Source album and introduced Nas to the world. And then fast forward, him being among my peers and one of my friends in the music industry, when they were celebrating their 25th anniversary, which is around actually July 2016 was the 25th anniversary. And
Mm-hmm.
I had came across the fact that Tribe Called Quest was celebrating the anniversary of their first album prior to that. So I actually was in Toronto, Canada, visiting DJ K Cut because he's a good friend of mine of many years. And when I saw that the Tribe album had the anniversary, I was like, bro, Main Source first album is having an anniversary this coming, year. We should do something about that. So we took about maybe 6 to 9 months doing research, reaching out to Wild Pitch Records, the owner of the record company, Stu Fine, and we reached out to, find out who owned the masters at the time, as also who had the licensing rights to license the music, because we got an opportunity with a vinyl curating company out of Oregon to re-release the first album as a limited edition vinyl release where it had the catalog from the album, new artwork, it had a lyric sheet, a couple of bonus material, remixes and unreleased material. So we wanted to make sure we had the access to the masters as well as the rights to license it. And after some research and some communication with the right people, we worked everything out and we got it done. And then they re-released the first album on vinyl, and then the interest of that led to a reunion concert, which I helped produce, and it was sold out at SOB's New York that year, and on the strength of them selling out that reunion concert because they hadn't performed together for almost 10 years up until
Oh
then. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? Yeah, they were on a hiatus for almost 10 years up until that point, and then once we did that, it led to like inquiries from all over the world to do shows. So we ended up touring Europe. We ended up going to
Mm.
Japan. It was really dope. You know what I mean? And those guys are my peers, but they're also my friends. So for me, I was paying it forward. Because I was a fan of the music. That first album, before I even made a name as a producer, inspired me. So the fact that I had the opportunity to help them, be rediscovered by a new generation, it was really dope. And then to be able to tour with them, I had a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
Wow, man, that sounds amazing for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So shout out to Lost Pro and DJ K Cut, Main Source, Flushing Queens. You know what I mean?
All day. But man, like you said, that's the album where like a lot of people that was the first time they heard Nas rap too. So that's
Hmm.
a defining moment in
Absolutely.
hip hop, you know.
It's a defining moment, and I think that was part of the reason why around the time they had their anniversary, because the company that asked to license the rights of the album to put it out on vinyl, they reached out to us. You know what I mean?
Mm,
We were just trying to think of ways to celebrate the anniversary, and right in that ballpark of that time frame, when I was doing that, we got contacted out of nowhere by this company, like, yo, we would like to curate this album. It's a classic, and they were just explaining what they do as a business is curate you know, classic albums in various genres, not just hip hop, but like soul, R&B, and they chose for the time frame to re-release it. You know what I mean? And they had it like the album of the month for that within that year to for their subscribers to order the vinyl and stuff like that. So it was really dope. And you know, I think part of the reason is because again, Nas's first commercially released record was on that album. You know what I mean? That was his introduction to the world. So it's like a timeless piece of work. He was on the Live at the Barbecue record, which is like,
yeah,
that
man.
was like the infamous posse cut record that people used to do in hip hop back then. There's always that one record where all the people in the crew jump on it and rhyme. You know what I mean? So it opened the door for him. That verse was just timeless.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.